All right. When I first met you,
Yeah.
it was at the White House.
Yep.
And you told me a story, and you swore me to secrecy.
And you've never revealed it. You've threatened to on this show many times, but you didn't.
I've referenced it in opaque little ways.
You teased me.
Yes,
But I decided that if this book was going to be authentic, I had to just have some candor. And one of the things people always ask me about is something you asked me about that day, which was how did I deal with the stress of dealing with the White House press corps?
I didn't ask you that. I said, how do you put up with that crap? I think that's how I phrased it.
You said, how have you never reached out and punched somebody?
Yeah, because I'm into violent ninja now, so that's probably
And I said,
why.
I really felt like I would always think of when I was at the podium that if the president were watching me right now, would he be proud of what I was saying? And if he was not, then I would not say it. But I did have a secret way of dealing with the stress.
This is the greatest story ever told.
It is so unlike me. It's like unbelievable. And
Why are you turning red?
I'm embarrassed, and I'm going to apologize, but this is how I did it. I showed you that at the podium, so that you have like a little shelf, right? And that's where I would put my water. And if there were a reporter that I had to sit and look with a very pleasant look on my face.
This is great.
And if somebody was really giving me a hard time and being a jerk, and mostly when they showed off for the cameras, I didn't like that. I just hide my hand behind here and flip them the bird.
Smile and flip them the bird.
Yeah. And it gave me courage. Gave me a little power.
Is there anybody you did it to more than others?
There was one. I didn't do it very often. I remember in particular there was somebody that sat in the front row.
Okay.
To my right.
One of the main networks. Got it. Yeah. We can't possibly get the whole book in, but just to give people a quick synopsis, I mean, you chronicle your family life, your life in the White House, your admiration for President Bush. You tell a side of him that I saw, because I had a chance to be around him a lot, that I wish the public would have seen.
Right, and that's one of the reasons I wrote this book, because he was more than a boss to me and a commander-in-chief. He was a friend. He has become a lifelong confidant, and you'll read how he often was like a second father to me, teaching me about the importance of forgiveness in leadership. And also, there's a wonderful story in there when when I invite my dad to the White House, he comes at the very end. He had never been to visit before, and he accepts a last-minute invitation, and the president made that visit so special. And on Marine One, when we were flying one day, the president says to me, "I am so proud of you." And that meant so much to me, and I want the world to know that there is more to history of George W. Bush than just the policy and politics.
You talk about the violence that you experienced as press secretary, which you wouldn't have expected, but more importantly, I think the best part of the book, from my perspective as your friend, is that you show such courage in all of your decisions, from being a White House press secretary to going through the trials and tribulations of transitioning to TV. It's not easy, right? I've been through that.
There's some great behind-the-scenes stories about the Fox News and the Five in particular, but there's also...
Bob choking, you told that story?
Bob almost died the first day we were an official show, and that was really terrible. Kimberly Guilfoyle and Eric Bolling. Actually, Eric Bolling saved his life. And there's a lot of practical advice in there based on stories and experience of my life and how I've achieved some little bit of success thanks to people like you that had me on your show.
Well, I'm going to tell you, if you have a son or daughter, this is the book to read. It's awesome. It's really well done, and it takes you inside the Bush White House, and you get to know Dana's heart, and that is the irreverent side that she didn't show until now. You know how hard it is for me to keep a secret, and I did it.
You kept that secret well. Do you know who I mostly should apologize to is President Bush? Although I don't know if he would be upset with me. He might like it. I'm going to see him next Tuesday in Dallas, and I'm going to talk to him about it.
I'll give it. Mr. President, please give her a pardon. It's good. It's all good.
I deserve one. Thank you.
Thank you, Dana. All right, coming up, we need your help tonight's question.